end of the story. That is my overall analysis. I want to keep my hairs on my legs where it belongs.
Yep. But I know last time Onic is lose against AP Bren by 2-1. But it's a best of 3 series, not
That's
best of
true.
5.
So what is the difference here? Coming to a best of 3, best of 5, what is the main difference? What can we tell the audience?
Sans. Keep your eyes on Sans. He's in good health, and he hasn't really dropped his overall performance throughout the tournament so far. Ever since he came back, one day recovery, one day back to full health, and he continues to just power on.
Yeah, if you say Sans, I say Kyle Z because it's very crazy jungler there that can make a lane of downturns back. Ooh.
Just Land of Dawn upside down, insta swap. I mean, he was the MVP for their previous series along with Black TZ. So there are definitely key players that we need to look out for. And it brings us to, I think everyone's thinking it, the junglers, right? As we take a look at the main lineup here for AP Bren, we have Flap TZ, Kyle TZ, Few, Super Marco, as well as Ogwen. Pick your player.
For me, I'm going to be looking very closely towards Ogwen's side because Keyboy has been quite the standout for the side of Onic, and Ogwen needs to be able to kind of calm him down, put him in his place, and make sure that his line of defense is rock solid.
But Kaltuzi is like the typical of player that can dive into the backline. It makes Keyboy confused. Are he gonna cover or are he gonna initiate the fight itself? That's why we gonna see it later.
For me, in particular, Ogwen. Will he be able to get his hands on his signature Minotaur? Because, you know, Onic, they're a team that likes to be super aggressive. They're a team that likes to initiate. And with that Minotaur in the hands of Ogwen, that's going to be disastrous and it's going to be chaos.
It could be a lot of chaos, but then again, this is just one side of Bren that we saw yesterday, right? We were expecting the drafts to be a lot more streamlined. We didn't see too many experiments until today, as well as yesterday, where we got a little bit of a taste of what flavor of team fights we were going to get.
And if we're looking at the team statistic here, Jidan, I think the Terisla is the favorite hero for FlapZ, right? And it's the favorite hero on this SPS tournament too, because we know how Terisla can make the momentum, how Terisla can initiate the team fight. But we need to be careful against Valentina too. If they pick Terisla, but the Onic got Valentina by Sans, ooh, it's gotta be nasty.
That is, and that's on the hands of Captain Few himself. So definitely a hero that is going to be contested, and seeing their previous, I would say, attributes, it's tough. If we take a look at the roamers here, Ogwen, Minotaur 89%, Grok 100%, and these are just really brutal roamers that can be utilized to create momentum for his team.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those roles that it's very difficult to flex around, right? We haven't seen teams really take advantage of that. So far, it's only been EXP and as well as jungle. But when you come down, once you show that support, you have a very good idea what type of composition you're walking into.
Most probably it's gonna be the roamer, right? Because Minotaur on XP lane, yeah, we see it before the patch updates, but now it's not.
Yeah, let's take a look at the official team lineup from the Yellow Porcupines Onic. We have Boots, Kyrie, Sans, CW, as well as Keyboy. And ladies and gentlemen, looks like they're bringing out their big guns. They're looking to get their prize here, that upper bracket, that grand final slot with bringing Sans as well as CW, so no Albert today.
Yeah, I know it's like they have a second life if they lose on this match, but it's the pride, I think. They want to win this game. They want the ticket to the grand final.
Yeah, they just want to fast track their way there. Personally, for me, I think in this particular match, this is a very early taste of what the grand finals should and is going to look like by the end of tomorrow. Personally, for me, my eyes immediately go to Boots. Yesterday, when he was playing Arlen, he was on absolute fire here, absolutely not only demolishing his lane, canceling the right abilities, but also an absolute menace as he sneaks out of the fights despite getting caught.
That's why a playmaker like Boots, he requires heroes that can facilitate that, right? If he's being placed on a Uranus, like similar to Sanford, it's not much of an impact as you would expect that these players should have. But our main highlight here, comparison, Ogwen, and now we're going to take a look at Keyboy. Already you can see 100% win rates all across the board, and there's a little bit more variety to him. Kaja, Cho, Hilda, 3 of these heroes have different play styles.
All very different play styles, and more importantly so, he's one of the few who actually is willing to play a very I would say it's a very abusive role as the Hilda because not only are you looking to annoy your opponent, but you're actively telling your teammates, I'm not going to be able to do too much later on into the game. I have a very strong limit.
But that data means Keyboy can play any strategy that the coach want to play. They want to playing the roamer that can invade the enemy's jungle. Hilda it is. They want to play the pick of roamer. Kaja it is. And anything else.
Yeah, except Florin. 0% win rate so far.
Yeah.
So that is the lackluster coming in from Keyboy. The fact that he cannot utilize the support heroes properly. I guess it just doesn't fit his playstyle. However, what we did see in Onic is the fact that they can utilize these heroes and flex it over to Sans in that mid lane.
Yeah.
But if we look at the team head-to-head, I think we already see that Kyrie with his joy yesterday, it's not working so well because on the early game, the enemies just keep invading the jungle. Don't make Kyrie feeling more comfortable for his farming phase.
Well, that's the thing, right? That's why we saw in the interview that AP Bren is looking to punish them in the earlier stages of the game. I don't know how true that is because we have seen moments even when Onic wasn't feeling at their 100% during day one of the Challenge Finals. The fact is they were able to stretch and drag out games even without their full lineup, so I would expect the same here as well.
Yeah, so we've talked a little bit about both of these teams, ladies and gentlemen, and now I'm curious to see, with that in mind, what your prediction is, especially for those over at Twitch. We see you over there. Put in your predictions as soon as possible. Are you Team AP Bren or are you Team Onic? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment that we've kind of been waiting for, the talent predictions. Let's bring it up.
All
and
right.
here it is.
Ooh.
All right. Okay, so everyone expects this to go a full best of 5, but there are differences in the prediction. I'm going to call you out right here. Gideon Q, AP Bren.
Yep, I'm going for AP Bren. I know for a fact that Onic can go all the way to the grand finals and is honestly one of the most favorite teams to actually win the whole thing. I think if there's any team out there that might actually go toe-to-toe, it's got to be AP Bren, and I'm willing to bet my leg hairs on it.
Okay, I mean, that's true. But what about you, Kolios? Will you win for Onic?
I think, honestly, it's a 50-50 match. Even me, myself, it's very hard to predict who is the winner from this match. But like Lavelle said before on the panelist desk, that it depends on the first game and the second game. If it's a stomp game, I think it's gonna be 3-0.
So
Whoever the winner.
Do you think it's like a mental thing, momentum
Yeah.
based? All right,
Yeah.
all right.
It's true because, you know, Onic, we've seen them once they're fired up, once they're juiced and gassed up, they can take it all the way. And it's very hard to stop them and get out of their pacing. I think that's something that AP Bren needs to be very wary of. If they can get some early momentum for themselves in this game one alone, this might just go the full series.
All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen, the talent predictions right over there as we are going straight into the drafting phase. Drum roll, please. You can see AP Bren here already taking out the Kadita as well as the Ling. Meanwhile, once again here, Onic going to respect the heck out of AP Bren, taking the Minotaur away. And interestingly enough, the Joy as well.
I guess they don't want that option of a potential flex pick coming in for Flap TZ and even giving that over to Kyle TZ to a certain degree, right? Both sides can play the assassin style. Generally, Kyrie is like, I would rather an assassin over a utility style jungler, but that's not the same case for AP Bren.
But yeah, don't forget, Kyrie's favorite hero on SPS, Vanny, is still open yet. Are AP Bren gonna ban it on the third ban? Or they just gonna ban the other heroes like Valentina is still open?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah.
I don't know because they are on blue side and they do have the option of first pick. So maybe just giving the Valentina over and then looking to maybe get the Fanny. But then again, Onic could respond with Hilda.
Hilda is a very nasty hero that can just disturbing the farming pattern from the jungle itself, but it depends. Like Keyboy can use a lot of heroes here that he can use, maybe Hilda, Choke, the Kufra, even the Kaja, or some of the healer meta like Angela or Florin, the 0% win rate.
Ooh, this is tough because now the Uranus is also opened up as well. So that's definitely a possibility that AP Bren can go for unless they want to go for something a little bit more safe like Fredrin, who can be flex. Arlet is also still available. Even the Bakito at this point. What do they want to go for? Angela? No, I don't think it's gonna be
I don't think
Angela.
it's gonna be first pick Angela.
I think a lot of this is going to be very reliant because the fact that Onic decided to ban out the Valentina themselves does kind of tell us that the option of Farmis is wide open. There we go. Farmis first pick coming in. AP Bren not going to let up on this. And it's good to have it because now that you don't steal it away, your team is very team fight oriented right off the bat.
Fanny.
Yeah.
Fanny. I'm feeling a Fanny game here.
When facing against Faramis, usually Onic is picking Fanny. That's the
true.
problem, I think. Are they gonna pick it on this first and second pick? And
We'll see. They're going to go for Claude first, secure that for CW. And it's going to be paired up with the Fanny. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, a Fanny game from Kyrie.
All right.
The crowd is cheering.
You got to give him the signature, man. He's got to show off to the Indonesian crowd. But more importantly, we are seeing that the win rates for both the Fanny as well as the Claw, both at 59%, which is above average so far.
Okay, but here, they still have the option to pick the Fredrin or even Terisla. It can be good for them if they want to pick a sustainable hero that can make carry Fanny is not having a good time to picking the kill points.
All right, I'm just gonna allow this time for my co-casters here to increase their volume real quick, okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because the crowd is loving it. They're loud and we can barely hear ourselves. And I'm sure those of you at home can hear it too. But here it is. I think this is a wise choice. Kaja as well as Paquito.
Yeah.
If ever the Fanny does go for a split push, if the Paquito is in the EXP lane, this Paquito is going to have a good time in that 1v1 situation. Unless, of course, the Paquito is so far behind. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to be. And now the Kaja. These are the two heroes that I believe is going to give the Fanny a hard time. And I'm assuming that AP Bren want to pick up something like the Brody next.
I love how they choose the heroes, both of the heroes, I think. Paquito is the stopper for Cloud. The knockout strike can stop the blasting duet from Cloud. Even Fanny, when using the steel cable, if the knockout strike is connected, Fanny will stop at that moment. With Divine Judgment, it can stop Fanny too, but look at that. Kibo is using his signature hero, Gideon. What do you think?
I think this is a really good draft for the first phase for both sides, right? I love the insurance policy coming in from AP Bren. As you mentioned before, 2 ways to potentially stop the Fanny as well as the Claude, and they're interchangeable at the same time. But Coach Yep, he's smart enough. What do both of them have in common? A lot of dashes. You want to dash some more? Bouncing ball is going to stop you.
You're right. That actually does make sense. But now, Onic bans out the Akai. Why so?
Disengage. I guess they want to be able to dive a little bit harder. It does give us an idea that maybe Onic want to go for a harder dive comp. We could see that maybe AP Bren might lock in a Beatrix, and you could look to punish it with a hard diver in the backline with maybe a Yusong, like we saw how Sanford was playing earlier.
Yeah. Because Sanford is like a really annoying playstyle, right? Joining the team fight, even like he do really well to calculate the damage output, like how he can sustain facing against some heroes. It's kind of similar gameplay with the AP Bren right now that they gonna pick. Are the Paquito is still versatile? Are the Paquito gonna be on the EXP lane or even it's the jungle? It's still possible to have both of the lane, but they are banning Terisla like now. I know Terisla is a very annoying hero that can dive in using the flicker and the penalty zone and can stop everyone who just want to join in the team fight.
And I think it's so bad against the Faramis, right? And so they understand that. They understand that Boots is able to find that small opportunity when that Cult Altar gets popped off. And if he does so, Terisla. So no security there. They're going to take that out for sure. But there are still alternatives towards this. They still have the Arlet to play around with. And on top of that, now, Onic, they actually ban out the Mardis, so they're really signifying to Bren right now. It's like, what are you going to choose as your jungler here? We're taking away 2 heroes that can potentially disrupt the pattern coming in from the Fanny, and that only kind of leaves, in my opinion, Balvin. Is that something that he could pick up?
Possibly, if he really wants to play it safe. But I think, you know, at least for AP Bren, they have to pick their poison here. It's either they decided to ban out the Masha, or instead they had to go. They had to also ban out potentially the Arlet. But they both play 2 very separate roles. Arlet more towards that team fight. Masha, he's looking to make sure that Super Marco doesn't get too far ahead in the game. But the fact that they banned out Masha does give us an idea. AP Bren, they want to play around their marksman. They gave over the Arlet, and as expected, where is AP Bren going to go with their marksman? Beatrix is a possibility.
Beatrix.
Yeah, I think it's Beatrix, or even lastly, if they want to play the long game.
Oh, I think it's a little bit too scary against the Fanny.
But I'm thinking about Onic right now is lack of mid lane. right? Their last hero gonna be the mid lane. And I'm thinking about one underrated hero that might be good against the AP Brand draft, Luoyi.
I was thinking more to Novaria, but
Novaria?
all right. I mean, it could work.
That, I'm thinking about it, I can definitely see the idea, right? You have a lot of combo starters, you're able to kind of spread out the the yin as well as the yang, making it very disruptive for AP Brand, especially if they want to kind of clump up together. You could really punish this farm in the mid lane. I like the idea and the concept as well. They also, AP Brand, lock in the Fredrin at the same time, so plenty of peel, and yes, this comp is designed around this Beatrix, so very smart of Brent to ban out the Masha. But let's jump back to Onic, right? They recognize this. If they go for the Loyi, hats off to you, Coolios, because that would be a genius pick.
Arsa.
But it depends on the combo itself. If they miss the combo, it can be the disaster for them.
And it's very early game, in my opinion. It's really difficult for Luoyi in the later stages of the game, so I think a safer pick, even though it's not exactly as safe, is Farsa or Novaria. And there you go, the Farsa does come through.
Gotta stick to what's good in the meta right now with Farsa with a steady pace that she actually scales into the game. Oh my goodness, this crowd. This crowd are making sure that their voices are heard. But yeah, as mentioned before, with this Farsa, she's able to scale at a steady pace, and especially since we have seen a couple of alterations to her emblem sets, emblem talents, in taking Weapon Master to scale harder in towards the later game like we saw from Yudu Red Giants. I think there's a couple of good pathways for them.
All right, I mean, right now you can hear the crowd is loving it. Let's see if the casters are loving it too.
More than just loving it, we live for this. Welcome to the desk. It's Leo and Mirko bringing you game one in this best of 5. It's the upper bracket finals. And if you understand, that's exactly what's going on. It's AP Bren going up against Onic.
There you go. I mean, again though, here, caster prediction, we saw on the desk Gideon was alone going for AP Bren. But here, they all actually went for 3-2. They expected to go all games. We don't expect the same.
Yeah, no, I think we know these two teams well enough to say that once momentum comes into play, then there's almost no stopping both AP Bren and Onic.
No, not really. I mean, we saw what Onic can do when they get game number 1. Same goes for AP Bren. We saw in the group stages up against Onic, if they're able to get that momentum, if they're able to start strong, they can end even better.
Yep, some highlights in that draft that I personally love is the fact that Coach Yeb, of course, with Addy's decision, banned out the Minotaur early on. Just no beef, Ogwin.
No, because again, for AP Bren, the way that they kind of counter a lot of different engage-heavy initiation heroes from the side of the other teams is that Minotaur. You utilize every single initiator in the game, and for Onic, with someone like Keyboy on their team, they want to utilize that.
And now it seems like the shoe's on the other foot because it's Keyboy who's actually calling the shots. Keyboy here is rocking a Kufra, so everything goes through him, and it's not going to be as easy a job for Master Ogwin to pull through and pull the perfect target. Let's get into the Land of Dawn. 30 seconds in, we see a purple start for both of our junglers.
There you go. Interesting start from Kyle TZ here from the purple buff. Usually you would expect the orange buff start, but Keyboy already first on to the orange buff. Kyrie walks in, but Kyle TZ with a beautiful retribution. 50-50, this time won by AP Bren.
The young man, Kyle Saison, so sharp on the retry. Keyboy!
He's gonna be caught. First blood over to flat TZ.
Man, I don't think Keyboy expected that much of a response. And it was so close, though, that really could have been a coin flip. Onic could have stolen away an orange buff, committing Grand Theft Orange as early as under a minute, and would have put AP Bren down so far. But right now, oh wait, AP Bren crossing the river.
Gonna be able to invade, taking a few of the camps away from Kyrie, delaying that level 4. Well, let's take a look at the emblems. Both teams going for practically the same, only the difference in the roamer and the jungler.
In the long week that we've had here at SBS Challenge Finals, this is as varied as the emblems get, right? Not much of a homogeneity across our emblems, not for teams, not for roles here so far. And I like the way that the emblem metagame is going. I like that we're getting into these niche picks, and players are getting more comfortable in the way that they want to play an early game, a mid game, and how these emblem choices make sense. Now, Turtles spawned up already, 2 minutes in. 2 members of AP Bren here at the scene. Up Onic just leaving it open.
No surprise here, AP Bren with the Fredrin. The fact that they were able to secure that orange buff basically guaranteed the next 2 neutral objectives for them. They have secured a better trio mid with that skirmish early. And Onic, now they're falling behind. And when they fall behind, when Kyrie, when his jungle is vulnerable, that's where it gets scary. But easy though, brought back into the feather airstrike. Boots equalizing in the kill department. Onic 1-1.
Last second. Final Splash opening up this top lane tier 1. Look at all the gold that Onic is grabbing from here. This is going to help close this gap, definitely. AP Bren sitting tight, close to the chest. 3 minutes in, 1-1. Something I'm noticing here so far is that both of these teams understand and are exhibiting amazing decision-making. We've seen this from Onic, especially in the games that they win so decisively. I'm remembering their opening match here in the playoffs, and it looks like now they've met their match. They've met a team that knows exactly what their outs are at any given moment.
Both teams have done their research really well against one another. And both teams are trying to exploit those weaknesses that they think that the opposing team has. And for AP Bren, it's trying to neutralize Kyrie from the get-go. 3 minutes in already, KyleTzy with a level lead, 2-level lead.
Yep, again, this is as clear as day a message sent to the Porcupines, because it's so easy to actually just send all the bodies, send all the dudes down bottom and bear down on CW. Homie's rocking a sprint, so it's so easy to actually just pressure him and neutralize that gold lane. But no, they're like, Kyrie is the key, man. He is the one. If we can stop him, then that mid-game, late-game potential for Onic to actually clap back after that great start, it's gone. So that's what AP Bren is hedging on. And they've done well, again, to stop that snowball, especially coming from top. You could have seen a team that would have just let that top lane go and then go from there. They would have just buckled under the pressure. But here, AP Bren said, yeah, let's just keep invading. Let's just keep taking these small camps, and that'll give us priority once more here in the second turtle.
Saw that setup earlier, bottom lane, cut in, Ogwen, Flicker Divine Judgment, picking him to the nearest basket for the final slash, connects onto the back, Cole Alter coming down, CW, the Blazing Duet, and Kyrie secures the turtle. Now jumping back and forth, KyleTzy with an Appraiser's Wrath.
Oh, they bear down on KyleTzy!
Cutthroat takes them out though, FlapTzy next on the top lane, block him, with a Tyrant's Revenge and the Rage. Flashbacks to MSC as Onic dismantle Bren in this fight.
AP Bren unable to get anything out of that engage. As beautiful as their answers were, Onic just stepped on the gas, leaned hard on their advantage, and now are converting through the roof. Not just did they get a 3-kill streak, but also stole the purple and even the turtle.
What a play to equalize. I mean, again, that wasn't just equalizing, that was Onic taking control of the game, and it was through a sacrificial play of someone's lane. Boots left that lane to die. He said, Flap, if you want the turret goal, if you want to shove, go do you, man.
And I think that's one way that AP Bren didn't read into that situation. They were like, all right, they seem to be bearing down on turtle, but what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? The answer didn't come quick enough. That's why, again, even here as early as 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes in, Onic are forcing AP Bren to think on their feet faster than they ever have here in SPS. And with that said, this next turtle here, 30 seconds in, it's all yellow. I mean, Onic, it doesn't help that I'm just calling it yellow, all right? It's all for Onic, 1,000 in.
We've got to talk about Kyrie's decision here to go for a very unique emblem set. In a world where Fannies go Lethal Ignition, go Master Assassin, we're seeing Kyrie on a killing spree and a Festival of Blood. Just wanting to out-sustain AP Bren, understanding that that's been the reason that AP Bren has been able to win a lot of these skirmishes against Onic and almost every other single team in the group stages.
Oh, concealed play by Keyboy. Let's see, do they know that Kyrie is in their midst? Oh, wow. Look at the respect, and as well, just the awareness of Onic to say, hey, they're not going to fight us. CW, take it. I'm loving the approach here. What you just talked about, Miracle, is an offensive sustainability that Kyrie is presenting. And once he stacks up on these items, he's going to get so much better. Final slash by Boots!
Cole Alter popped in, Keyboy! Tyrant's Revenge and the Rage! Into the Feather Airstrike, and even the Retribution goes to Kyrie! Now FlapTzy dealing some damage right now. Divine Judgment locking him down. Kyrie taken out by few. And both teams disengage.
Super Marco finds the flank and punishes, taking Kyrie along the way. So despite Onic having, again, a clear victory on the map, That's AP Bren's efforts of actually getting some punches in, getting their licks in, so as to not lose completely here in the post-laning phase. Again, just to quickly check in on the item game, where are our players at exactly? As you can see, CW picks up his golden staff, and that's his second core item. Oh wait, Flapteezy!
Trying to force it out now, jumping back to the BMI, slowing Flapteezy down. Feather airstrike coming down, Kyrie with a cutthroat. Flap, 1, 3, and 1. AP Bren don't stay quiet though. They look for a trade below, and they find success.
They sacrificed him so that Super Marco can breathe a little easier, so that Super Marco can find farming space down bottom. Now Flapteezy, attempting to go for this purple buff.
Oh, beautiful steal! Just like that, Kyle Teasy has brought back stability to AP Bren and what they want to fight for.
Not just stability, the fact that it came at the cost of Kyrie's purple, all the more amplifies this up-and-coming clapback from AP Bren. Looking at the map, huge priority on top lane, and that's where the gold laners are going so far. CW needs a wee bit of items. He's up by just about 200 gold here, has a pair of pants. So I'd say here in this phase in the game, 8 minutes and a half in, he has that advantage, not just because he's ahead and not just because Onic was in the winning, but wait!
Keyboy gonna be engaged on, has the immortality, not popped just yet. Final slash used up, Kyle Teasy with the re-engage, taunting him up. Razor's Rat dodge away from Keyboy, now the revenge and the rage. Canceling it out, Ogre gonna be kited back to Alter. Not enough to save his life, CW! In the back with a blazing duet all the way. Super Marco tries to cut him down, but CW escaped. Marco as well. Now, Teasy.
Kyrie! He's looking for bodies, finds Super Marco! Oh! He jokes him! He's still alive!
What a joke by Super Marco! Meanwhile, two-man down. Shadow Stampede bringing Kyrie back with the airstrike! One drop to take the ball, one last to take Fulo.
A close call there, but just the same, Onic still finds a big dub there. Ballooning on forward, 3,000 gold here, 9 minutes and a half as they go straight for the jugular, taking this Lord. And it's a blitz. There's really no response from AP Bren. Yeah, you can counter blessing and say, hey, at least Super Marco did die, but that's not what Onic was looking for. They were actually looking for the better win, the bigger moves, and right now, I'm slowly looking at a future, Mirko, where all of AP Bren's turrets outside their base just crumble.
Wow. Very chaotic, yet they're able to pace it down. The Onic we saw at MSC, now we're seeing in Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Finals, in the upper bracket finals. AP Bren, they still have these power spikes that have yet to hit. Super Marco is still waiting. No, he's already gotten the Melfic Roar, and this is the time where that mid-game power spike is going to be massive for AP Bren. They need to try to look for a cheeky little engage, a cheeky little pick-off here in the next siege coming from Onic.
And that's gonna come in two ways, right? If Ogwin can actually get in there, pull CW, pull Sans, that's a check. Maybe even Kyrie, if he's lucky. Second is Few has to be ultra on point with his Cult Altar, right? If that happens, then maybe. So far, all of the Cult Altars have been maybe a second or two too late. Now, Onic can't rely on the fact that maybe AP Bren is going to get caught sleeping, but here we go. The Siege and the Feathered Airstrike.
Half HP, no, a quarter HP left for Super Marco. They're still able to deal with the Lord. Taken out, no tier 2s other than the top side has been taken down for Onic. Meanwhile, Flapteezy down below, Kyrie spots him, but will not engage. Both teams taking it real slow.
Huge gold lead here for Onic, looking at about 4,000, 5,000, and that's why AP Bren are actually just clumping up, right? They're moving around as a unit because they're more likely to survive, and it's less of a threat. If anything, they're the threat. If anybody, let's say maybe Kyrie or Boots, walk into this 4-man unit of AP Bren, and that's what AP Bren is working out for. That's what they're doing to shrink this gold lead, keep it close and keep it manageable. The fact that Flapteezy here currently only has the Dominance Ice and the Bloodlust Axe doesn't spell any good, especially when Boots here has been so sharp. And wait, they jump on him.
Ogwin flickered. No flicker for the next fight there. Brilliant bait from Kyrie. And he has the purple buff still now. What do you think? Flicker, 90 seconds. Onic, do they try to force a fight now, or do they just take it slow and wait for the Lord?
I guess they're going to take it slow, man, especially since Lord is coming up in 30. they know that this Lord is going to be relatively easy, given that Ogwen doesn't have the flicker. Even if Ogwen does conceal and find a weird bush, it's not going to be as free. It's not going to be as good a catch. So yeah, Keyboy and Boots are going to do so well to act as enforcers to make sure that Ogwen doesn't catch Key and core members.
Big power spike item coming in from Super Marco. Now he can stay.
There you go.
He can just space. He doesn't need to stay all the way in the back lines.
Wind of nature.
He can play in the middle of the team fight and still make it work. We'll see what Marco does with this as he swaps his weapons to clear out the waves up top. CW starting the Lord, Onic. They want to dance.
Here we go. It takes two to tango. And there's the Magic Sentry. The coast is clear. AP Bren knows there are no stragglers. No one's hiding in no bush, at least in their purple side of the jungle. And with that, Kyle Tizzy says, let's go. He's pulling it towards him. Boots taking control of this river bush, and he's spotted, and with intent, right? This is purposeful. He's giving false hope. And right now, Few, oh, this is a good call. They're giving the purple to Few.
Giving the purple over to Few, giving him much more of a chance here to pop that call altar. Wait a minute. Conceal play, Keyboy. Taking space, getting vision. Count easy in that bush now. Still able to dodge away, getting the taunt down, getting the reset. CW with a good basic attack. Few, good splash, back to Boots. Ogwen still holding on to the Lord, now taken very low. Sans in the mid lane base. Meanwhile, take a look at Flap Teasy. He's cleared out that bottom lane. Keyboy charging in.
Ogwen spots Sans. They know Lord here at a fifth of his health. The good Flap Teasy coming in. Oh, final slash spent.
There you go, Boots in the back line. Super Marco's still able to gun him down. Shut down, picked up by Super Marco as the Lord goes for free. Keyboy! Returns revenge and the rage. No follow-up coming from the side of Onic.
Cold altar spent in. Keyboy gets the immortality pop.
Jumping back in once again with the Appraiser's Wrath. Box at CW without jumps in with the blazing duet. CW! Still able to escape. Now getting Baptiste down. One more hit for Flap. But CW wins it out. Divine Judgment.
Kyrie's cleaning up. He spots one. In 3 members. Down goes Keyboy.
Cutthroat. Not enough to take anyone down. Calteezy 1 HP. But the damage there isn't enough. AP Bren, they've walked out of this with a win.
As messy as it is, it looks like AP Bren have read the room and said, all right, if that's the Indo way, if that's how Onic wants to dance, let's dance. And they won out, but just barely, all right? Just barely. The only other way I could say that Bren won that clean is if CW went down, but no, CW was so aware. CW was just ultra in the zone. He's in a state of flow right now, the young Calvin Winata. As you can see here, just making quick work of the Lord.
My goodness. Both of the teams showing their mechanical prowess and their macro powers as well. AP Bren, they were very objective. They got the Lord, but also the setup that was started up by Flap Teasy in the gold lane. That was really what, 1v1 coming out, Flap Teasy. This might be a solo kill, Kai!
Where's the damage coming from? Homie has, just now, the BOD, Heptaseas, Hunter Strike, and Malefic Roar. There you go. Flap Teasy's lone dominance ice and Oracle weren't going to do anything to Kyrie, and he wasn't even going that fast.
No, he wasn't. He was just chilling, using the cables efficiently. Now with another purple buff at hand and a one-man advantage, Onic looked to push the pace. Now I do want to talk a little bit about Claude, CW's items here, because in the fight previously when he got the Wind of Nature, he actually didn't have the boots yet completed. It was still the small boots coming in, so it was a very greedy build. Now he sold the steel leg plates and he's going for that Malefic Roar. This is a big power spike for the Claude. And for the Beatrix here, it's kind of the same. He's going for the Haas Claws next, I believe, here to give him a bit more sustain in these fights. And CW, he might be out-sustained when it comes down to the close skirmishes.
Yep, and there you go. The aforementioned Malefic Roar and the Haas Claws for CW and Super Marco, respectively. Interesting to see that CW, clear threat, right? Super Marco is just but one of 2 clear threats. I'm waiting for Few to actually deal more damage here. He's not just a Cult Altar machine, folks. He's actually rocking now a COD, a Lightning Tranche, and the G-Dubs, Glowing Wand. I'm guessing maybe one more key item, and he's gonna be as feared as Sans. It's no question, right? Gila Sans, happy birthday, by the way. He's dealing so much damage. Every time Feathered Airstrike drops, you can watch AP Bren just Delta split, they disperse, right? So I'm waiting for that moment where it's AP Bren's turn, when Few comes on and says, hey, we're not gonna die here, they're gonna go.
Both teams, I think, I would say, does the same thing. When Few walks up, Onic split.
Oh,
When the Feather Airstrike gets popped, they split. Keyboy, conceal. Oh, the Lord knocks him up. That setup now gone. Top side pushed up. Render's happening, but almost able to spot Kyrie out.
yep. And I wonder if that was enough information. If there was enough of a map presence. Oh wait, they catch Kyrie!
Divine Judgment coming in. That's going to be the shutdown. Massive. Look at the timer. 17 minutes in. 40 seconds. Keyboy with rage. Knocking Few down.
And there's a Cold Altar coming in. Final splash!
Cole Alter gives Super Marco the space to take Boots down. And now Onic are forced to run back, to fall back. Bren take the lead.
17 minutes, 40 seconds in. The first big win for AP Bren. This whole game one, everything actually came in messy so far. Prior to this, oh wait, Sans.
Super Marco! With a snipe from downtown.
That bullet had his name on it, wrapped with a bow. Happy birthday, Gila Sans, he says. And all this while, they were pushing, they were taking Lord. 18 minutes in, I wonder if it came in just in time to be evolved, because AP Bren are now in a clear lead for the first time in game one, seeing at a 2K advantage.
And it's a big lead now, Leo. AP Bren, they've taken the enhanced Lord. 18 minutes in, Super Marco selling his boots.
That's it.
For the Rose Gold Meteor. Now even Sans will struggle to take him out, to poke him down in these team fights. AP Bren with 3 waves.
And now it's come to this, Miracle. Even Few deals a lot of damage. He picked up the Divine Glaive. So yeah, here we go. Final slash coming in.
Divine Judgment locking him down though. Keyboy now with the Time's Revenge, not able to find that range. Boots is down. Kyrie, no purple buff at hand. CW trying to clear the wave right now. Backing up with the BMI. Kyrie on this fanning, we've seen him do magical things.
Oh, Keyboy coming in with the jump.
Revenge and the rage into the back now. It's gonna be Super Marco slain by the Tyrant. Sans in the midst of it all, jumping back, Baptiste gonna be cut down, but he's still able to dodge away from the cables. Now one more shot for the airstrike as Keyboy respawns back with immortality. Now in the midst of it all with a bouncing ball, but Kyle takes him out.
3 for 1 so far. The economy here in casualties as Kyrie clears the wave. All turrets have fallen for Onic. AP Bren smell blood in the water.
Baptiste taken low, taken out, immortality now Few going on the base, but Kyrie refuses to take this all the way. Ogwen going, whipping the base down, now Boots is back, the final slash brings him away. Kai has taken another. How did Onic do it?
Ogwen, the only survivor left. Few respawns just in time via his passive. Onic successfully defends the MSC 2023 champion, still breathing.
What the hell is this game? It always happens, Leo.
This is what we asked for. This is what the thousands of people here inside Istora Sinayan have came for. This is what the drums beat for. And now, with a Bren, AP Bren, with a small map advantage given that all the base turrets of Onic are down, they have to reconsider, they have to contemplate, where did it all go wrong? How did we get that wrong? What do we have to do next?
What do they have to do next? I think that question is mostly to Onic. No base turrets left. They're gonna have to fight. They're going to have to force AP Bren.
And that's what's so beautiful about the situation. That's what's so beautiful about this game one. 20 minutes, 45 seconds in. Questions are answered with questions, and you can't help but ask more. And you're still here for it. Oh, as you can see, folks, just a few seconds until the next Lord spawns. This is an evolved Lord. It'll continue scaling for just a few more minutes. But right now, Kyle says it's time to dance, guys. He pulls for it as Onic takes control of the river bush.
Both teams slowing it down a lot, way down. 21 minutes in, one mistake can cost them the game.
Yep.
The gold lead be damned.
We are in TikTok timers territory, folks. This is not a spot you want to be in. Maybe save if you're Few. Few can actually play with his life here. Few can actually commit himself here to a bait play, but he's got to protect that Cult Altar. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Got damage on Kyle.
Good damage, CW on the claw. This is what you can expect from the Malefic Roar and the 3 attack speed items. That DPS is definitely something that both teams will have to respect from both of the gold laners.
CW and Marco, they're both barefoot, man.
Yeah.
They don't
need
care.
choose.
They understand that if I make the call, if I commit to this fight, this is the only thing I'm doing.
Thing is, though, we gotta talk about these two heroes, Claude and Beatrix. When Beatrix goes barefoot, it's a big weakness. But when Claude does it, you still have that passive, the 5 stacks always on with a common emblem. He's gonna have much more mobility compared to the Beatrix. But take a look at what Ogwen and Flap are scheming.
Oh, they're setting up for it, and it's Flap who decides to reveal himself. I wonder if Onic, I wonder if the Porcupines know that Ogwen are playing here. Ogwen and Flap are playing here with the distance, with the space, and they send back Kyrie. Oh, they're skittish. Where's Sans? They caught one!
Conceal already from Ogwen, holding on to the Divine Judgment now, pulling Keyboy back. Even with everything, bringing Keyboy all the way back. The flicker forward. TW with the blazing duet as a final splash connects.
CW gets out of there, but Marco slays him!
Fade away now as Kyrie goes in the midst of the team fight, loses his immortality right now. He buys the winner truncheon, able to pop it just in time. Few with the flicker as well. Dodging away, but Kyrie, that was the wrong goal! Kyrie!
It's not enough! Boots the only one left! He's fighting with his life! There's an ultimate, a final slash, double kill for Few! It's the wipeout!
AP Bren! They've coin flipped to victory! Despite the rose gold, despite the juggle! The monsters from the Philippines!
Inevitability. With a wipeout like that, no one's coming back from it. Game 1 goes to the newly minted AP Bren.
Everyone needs a breather.